Hello everybody, I am the Linkzilla and welcome back to Brutal Doom64. We're wrapping things up for today with a final midnight recording session of Brutal Doom, and then basically I'm gonna head to bed. I've got class and work tomorrow. Ah. Okay, Piggy, go kill them. I told you to go eat them. I really miss having the scanner, the motion scanner. It's ironic because I saw like another mod for Brutal Doom called Brutal Doom Remastered, but somehow they were playing like they were somehow playing Doom 2 Hell on Earth with the Doom64 graphics. And they also had the heads-up display, the ultimate helmet thing that I've been using for my playthroughs. Oh, Barons. You guys don't nearly look as big or as imposing as I think you should. Alright, now kill each other. Thank you. Part of the fun of Doom is getting your enemies to do your work for you. And I just blew him away with one shot. One shot, one kill. Although I feel like as far as traps go, I went through all that just for a shotgun. Like, I really think that they should have upped the ante, because at this point in the game, I really think that basically you should be good on like shotgun ammunition to the point where seeing a shotgun on an altar in the middle of a room like this isn't really going to not only grab your attention, but it's also not going to be considered safe. How am I supposed to get out of here? Huh. You see? These are much better prizes. Come on out. Uncle John has something he wants to share with you. They come in 2 barrels and they make a lot of noise. Oh, great. This one comes in 1 barrel, but makes an even greater amount of noise. I think I heard revenants. Alright, come to me, you friggin' balloons. Blah, blah. Ba-ba. Just been told I'm a little bit disappointed that basically, like, we've encountered so many Hell Knights, and basically it feels like in this version of the game, the Barons of Hell are just the palette swapped versions of the Hell Knights, except they're clearly a whole lot faster. But basically because, like, I mean, even look at the way that, like, their flames are animated. It literally looks like they took the sprite of the Hell Knight and basically ran it through some kind of color editing program where they basically, like, tweaked the colors to remove, like, to basically highlight more red, because, like, I've done that with sprites in the past. Plus, they don't even seem all that much bigger than the Hell Knights, if I can give my honest opinion about it. Blue key. What the hell? Oh, great. Traps. Well, fuck me. 3, 2, 1, make a break. Oh, whoever laid this trap, it is quite a clever one. I think that I might need that invincibility sphere, but the problem is, if I drop down there, I won't know how to get back. Move forward! Seriously, why are you quitting on me? That's the way that I came, so might as well investigate what's down here. This is the way back up. Did I open some kind of floodgate by going to that secret level? Because now these guys are friggin' everywhere. They're crawling over this place like real spiders. There's the red key over there. Let's try it. Of course. Wouldn't you know? Locked. Come on. Dark Citadel. Probably a waste of invincibility sphere. I mean, if I probably had observed it, probably would have gotten some kind of pattern, because these pillars can basically only face in 4 directions. They probably can't shoot on a diagonal. But then that would basically be like an almost impenetrable net to basically have to navigate through. Huh. Something I recognized. How is you ain't dead yet? How many rockets did I waste firing at that guy? Well, I got the blue key, so might as well go looking for that blue door. Hmm. Time to head back. Spectre, eh? Well, always go where the enemies are. I'm back! Uncharted territory. Bold new discoveries. Wow, I'd almost completely forgotten that we've only explored, like, a small section of the map. Traps. Ay. Red key. Wow. That's fascinating. Believe me, you'll thank me for this. Sons of bitches. I bet these guys were just average, normal schmoes. Basically joined up in the service to do a tour of duty and pay for college. And the UAC scooped them up and sent them here. Is this all we are to them? Meat for the grinder? How many more of us are gonna have to die before the UAC gets into their heads that they can't control this place? That they can't use it for any profit means at all? So they just should stop touching it. Or are they just doing it because it gives them some kind of sick pleasure at this point? UAC, largest corporation in the world, run by a bunch of myopic, masochistic idiots. At last. For a second there, I thought there was a specter running towards me. Well, the only thing that I think that switch could have possibly done is hopefully open up these pillars at the end of the hallway. Yes! The library. There's a library in hell? Of course, had to have gone somewhere after the internet killed it. But what kind of books would be kept in hell? If the UAC ever finds out about this place, they'll want to exploit it. This is the part where I imagine that John would light a match and burn this entire place to the ground. I mean, it's in hell, so who knows if it'll actually burn. Hell is for children. You know, having a library in hell basically reminds me of, like, one of my favorite Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episodes. Basically speaking, it's a more fairly recent one, but it's called School is Hell. Basically, Bart gets detention, and he notices that one of the desks in the detention room has Aramaic symbols written on it in Sanskrit. So he employs Lisa to help him translate it, which she does through an app on her tablet. And the translation reads to, "Ye who read this incantation will be taken to damnation." At which point, Bart and Lisa are both transported into hell and basically somewhat transformed into demonic versions of themselves. And it's ironic because basically Lisa gets heckled by some of the popular girls, and yet her comeback to them was actually like more snappy and whatnot, so they actually end up inviting her to join their group, at which point it starts snowing. Huh, it really is a cold day in hell that I'd be popular. So anyways, the thing about it is that Bart and Lisa end up attending a day of classes while in hell, which turns out to basically be a school. Hell is literally a school, so I'm sure there are other aspects of hell as well, but basically I think because they got they summoned there through like a portal in the school that they end up in a demonic version of the school, even with their own demonic versions of both Skinner and Superintendent Chalmers. They've basically been fused into one being, with Skinner having a very toady-like head, and Chalmers basically a minotaur. What's ironic is that, like, when they catch Bart for not having a hell pass, you know how Chalmers always shouts, "Skinner!" Well, this time, he says, "Skin him!" And they literally rip Bart's skin off, so... The ironic thing is that as Bart is attending classes, they're talking all about torture and what are interesting ways to torture a sinful soul that's been condemned to hell for eternity, and Bart ends up excelling at the class and impressing the teacher so much that he actually gets the desire to basically attend school in hell so that he can actually be taught to his strengths. Lisa basically discovers that there's a portal that can get them back to Earth, at which point they use the portal, and it ends up transporting them to Mr. Burns' office, who basically uses the portal, basically kind of like a check-in station for demons trying to get to Earth. Thank you for using the Burns Express Hell Portal. The time is now 2:53 Western. Anyway, the thing about it is that Bart gets so excited about basically having like a good day at school in hell that he literally asks his parents if he can transfer to go to school in hell, and they actually have a meeting with the two-headed Skinner and Chalmers, and basically it's like they take the news of him basically wanting to pursue his education in hell fairly calmly, far more calmly than I think most people would. Like, Homer basically points out the fact that, I'll tell you what's going on here, Marge. It's in hell, the inferno, the worst place imaginable. And yet, basically, it's treated like it's just a normal thing. And it's like, the demon Chalmers is like, look, as educators, we basically take pride in wanting to create an environment in which our students can be passionate about their academics and succeed. And basically, literally, when Bart, like, starts to beg to attend classes here, it's like, Mom, please tell me I can go to hell. That's a big one. Holy crap. That's not an Arachnotron at all. That's a genuine article. But that's the thing. They're not supposed to be in this game. Looks like Sergeant Mark decided to add it back in. They're not supposed to be in this game because the software wouldn't handle it. I mean, basically it's just a gigantic version of the Arachnotron with miniguns instead of plasma guns, but technically speaking, the Arachnotron is just a smaller version of the Spider Mastermind, so... Wow. And that nearly took all of my my chain gun ammunition. Right, now I gotta find the red door. Oh yeah, I know where the red door is. Right across the hall. Disgusting. You know, how much you want to bet that basically, like, in the future, with UAC basically having contacted the forces of hell multiple times, you know that there's definitely going to be some psychiatrist out there that basically wants to make their career by writing a best-selling book on demon psychology in order to try and figure out why demons are the way that they are. What exactly has to break in a culture, society, and more importantly, a species to make them do all of this? So, what is it that they want with Earth? Okay, Ow! Owie! You know, I thought that only snake oil salesmen had to walk through fire. I find it rather weird that every single level that I've been going to so far has basically required me to have all 3 keys. The Eye of the Storm. Doesn't look like it, though. I bet it must be so windy here. This is probably the only place in hell that's actually cold. I mean, apart from the 9th circle. Hey, do you guys remember something from, like, I guess, like, the early 2010s? A new video game that came out based on Dante's Inferno? I wonder what it was. I can't remember what it was called. Was it just called Inferno? Was it called Dante's Inferno? I don't friggin' remember. The only thing that I remember is that basically it's like you play some kind of knightish character with an axe, and your loved one is basically dragged into hell by demons and whatnot. You have to go through the 9 circles of hell in order to basically rescue her. I cannot believe how much I forgot about that game, because at the time when it came out I thought, I wonder if this is going to be kind of like Doom, except medieval. I wonder if this will basically be a kind of way to tide us over until Bethesda finally gets their act together and finally makes Doom 4. Because I remember, basically, I'm pretty sure, like, sometime in 2012, like, I remember the commercial that basically, like, they were announcing a re-release of Doom 3 called the BFG edition, and I'm just left wondering, when the hell are you guys gonna make Doom 4 already? It's one thing that I like about Lost Souls. They usually end up too busy fighting each other. And they conveniently come in one at a time, and you can always count on one of them to spaz out. I guess basically that lost soul was the Kevin of the group. I cannot believe that I actually used that meme. I actually hate that meme. For those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, it has something to do with Godzilla King of the Monsters. Basically, I'm a longtime fan of the Godzilla franchise. I know a thing or two about the monster of King Ghidorah, and yet there's basically nothing that I've ever seen that basically would imply to me that each of Ghidorah's 3 brains has a separate personality and certain kind of, like, different personality traits. They always seemed fairly unified as one cohesive creature. And yet, that all changed when the new movie came out, and suddenly, you had Ghidorah doing visual gags where the left head is basically considered the incompetent one, and why can't I get this rocket launcher? Oh. Yes, you can only approach it from a certain angle. And I forgot what I was talking about. Did I get them both? Does anybody remember what I was talking about? Like, what point? Oh, yeah, it was Ghidorah. So, basically speaking, the fandom has now pretty much adopted this new quirk that Ghidorah has, with the left head basically being like this, like the incompetent goofball, almost like the Ghidorah is based on the Three Stooges or something. Which wouldn't surprise me, considering that, well, that seems like something that a filmmaker would do with a three-headed character. And basically, they're even name-dropped as being Larry, Moe, and Curly in the movie. But for me, it just doesn't really work. I don't really consider it all that funny, and I actually find the gag to be kind of annoying, because it's like, how exactly can beings with three separate minds that basically are not on the same page, how can they exist as one cohesive singular entity? I never saw it that way. If Ghidorah does have multiple minds and not just one mind that controls all three heads, then I'm pretty sure that those minds should be so in sync that Ghidorah refers to himself as we, as in the royal we. And anyway, people in the fandom now refer to the slow head as Kevin. And it's like, at what point did friggin' King Ghidorah take on a name like Kevin? Look, I'm gonna basically be honest with you guys. I'm a fan of King Ghidorah, but truth be told, I feel like he's a bit overhyped as an opponent. Everybody basically builds him up as being Godzilla's nemesis because he's the most iconic and reoccurring monster in the series, but the problem is that, especially in the past movies, Ghidorah wasn't exactly combat efficient. Fights with him usually resorted to him standing in one place while other monsters basically ganged up on him from all kinds of angles. I like the fact that basically in the CGI movie, with the CGI technology that allows for more creative monster fights, even if they don't last long, is that basically Ghidorah seems like to be combat effective on a level where you could actually see him rivaling Godzilla, whereas in the past, it's always just sort of been the exact same thing over and over and over again. I pulled the plug. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes it could be a cute meme, but it just doesn't really fit what I basically would imagine King Ghidorah would be. There are times where I just really miss Rosa. And not just because of the fact that basically I liked having a pseudo-girlfriend in a sense, but more or less the fact that I liked having someone to share the stories with and someone who would write the stories with me. And as we wrote these stories and played all these different characters, I actually loved playing the role of Ghidorah. I really felt like I made him into the kind of villain that you just loved to hate so much. And then basically I even had an idea to where he could even sort of get his own sort of little bit of a redemption arc. Really wish that basically we could continue those plans. You see, this is why I wish that I had a grenade. All I need to do is just pop a couple off, one over the side, one over that balcony, and they'd all be dead. Hellhound. I want to see. Here, Dougie. Nice, Dougie. Roll over, play fetch. How is it that one shot isn't killing them? Here, Dougie. I got a bone for you. So I just wonder, how the heck did being exposed to hell energy cause this thing to grow a second head? Have I really been all over the map already? What hit me? Something teleported in. You can't fool me that it didn't. Yep. Seems like a great many somethings. He's weighed down by the corpse of the other one. Well, time to leave. This level is actually delightfully short. Am I missing something here? Aha. Uh-huh. Just love how clever they think they are, thinking that they're sneaking up on me. Ah! How the heck did it fire twice that quickly? And of course, they would close the doors. Well, what'd you expect? They're trying to kill you. They've been bad at it before now. Perfect! Green torches. That can't be a good sign. That activated something. You got no gifts? The dark entries. I'm pretty sure this is the level. You guys remember how I mentioned that revenants aren't supposed to be in this game? Well, they technically get reincarnated into something else. Yep. Yep, you see that? Those pillars up there. They're basically compressed revenants. God, I fucking hate homing rockets. Am I missing something here? Was that a guessing game? Trolls exist. How much you want to bet on this next one they're going to spawn in something bigger and meaner? Ooh, I'll take that. Okay. Not something meaner, but if I meant bigger by sheer size number, by sheer numbers alone. But I'm curious, was there nothing else? That still hasn't lowered that blue key yet. Huh. Well, that takes care of one problem. It's probably going to sneak up to bite me later. I really hate this. Hopefully they got blasted by those Revenants rockets. Open up! Revenants, watch those shoulder rockets! Aren't these pillars supposed to be shooting out metal traps or something? Oh well, if they're not going to, I'm certainly not going to press them on it. Awesome. The Nightmare Imps are fighting with the Arachnotron. Gives me the opportunity to slip away. I love cheese in the game. Especially because, well, this actually reminds me of one of my favorite Blackadder skits. Basically, like, it was basically during the Blackadder back and forth TV movie where they end up going back in time and seeing, like, ancestral versions of themselves. They run into their ancestors from the time of the Roman Empire, and it's like the time the Roman Empire basically was invading Scotland and so we are there goes my timer. We are up against a mob of crazed, skirt-wearing lunatics currently combing goats out of their beards, also known as the Scots. And what does our infamous leader Centurion do? He builds a 3-foot-high wall, a terrifying obstacle. It's about as scary with a small fluffy bunny with a tiny sign hanging around its neck with a little message that reads, "Boo." Wow, this game is kind of being an asshole. Die. Oh, that's not an Arachnotron. Prepare to be unmade. You know, the last time I used this, I only had 15 shots. I wonder if it basically resets to 30 with every single level so that you don't end up abusing it. Which is a shame, because that's exactly why I wanted to get it, and that's exactly why I wanted to do with it. Let's see, I got the red key. Let's see if I can friggin' finish off this level before I go to bed. That's what you always tell yourself, isn't it? Just one more level before bedtime. Okay. Choke points. Gotta have choke points. Oh, come on. Friggin' keyboard. Get me a chisel and some marble, will you, Baldric? Oh, you're gonna take up sculpture now, are you, sir? Nope, I thought I'd get my headstone done. Really, what are you gonna put on it? Here lies Edmund Blackadder, and he's bloody annoyed. We're going over then, are we, sir? Yes, unless I can come up with some kind of cunning plan. Would you like some rat-o-van while you mull it over? Rat-o-van? Yes, it's rat that's been run over by a van. No, thank you, Baldric. Although, It gives me an idea. Telephone, please. Ow! Player let an arachnotron get him. Player was spooked by a lost soul. Your soul is mine. Open! Come on, hit the arachnotron. Good. Now shield me with your giant brain. Your great criminal brain. Even meaner. You mean it. Worse than the widows and orphans you drowned. You're the best of the worst around. Arachnotron, arachnotron, the rest fall behind. To arachnotron, to arachnotron, he's hell's greatest criminal mind. God, I love monster end fighting. Oh, come on. You're not supposed to be shooting at me, you're supposed to be shooting at them. They're your enemies, not me. I'm your buddy, I'm your friend. This is very bad, Percy. Someone's for the chop. You and me, in fact. Yes, my lord. Let's face facts, Percy. It's you. It's you. Let's face facts, Percy. It's you. Yes, except I've got a plan to save us. Oh god, what is it? Well, what if we go and fetch Pharaoh's body and head, and we bring it to the palace, and before we enter, we start shouting a bit, and then when they come to investigate, we brought him out of prison, but he said something traitorous, so we chopped his head off to teach him a lesson. Percy, it is an awful plan. By God, it's the most contemptible. Worth a try. Where do we keep the head? Oh, it's in Traitor's Cloister. That's where the Queen is going. Did she know Pharaoh? Oh yes, they were childhood friends. Well, when she sees his head on a spike, she'll realize he's dead. You fix the body, I'll cover the head. Well, I'm off to see my good friend, Sir Ponsonby, who I believe I'm having killed on Friday. Oh, I got the body, and I see you've got the head. Yes, Percy, but no one's ever going to believe we've just cut it off. It's gone green. We're doomed. Doomed. Wait a minute, that's not Pharaoh, isn't it? No, that's Ponsonby. My God, Ponsonby! Mwah! We're saved! That genius Baldric has killed the wrong man. And when the Queen gets back from seeing Ponsonby, she'll oh God! Oh no, we're doomed! Was there any point in coming out here? Teleporter. Works for me. Okay. So I've got the red key. I brought those down, so... Now all I gotta do is... great. For the love... Okay, Okay, this level is officially earning 500,000 asshole points. Come on! Find out who invented this level, I'm literally going to kill them. Finally! I hate that level. Well, guys, that was annoying, because not only did I basically take me even longer to basically finish off this episode than it should have, but now it's basically later than I wanted it to be, and I'm not going to get that much sleep tonight. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys better be supportive after what I just went through. So, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll catch you next time. Fuck it, I'm pissed off.